Hello, dear students, good morning. Students, you know it very well that we have completed almost all poems in poetry section in this first textbook Flamingo, and the poem which we are going to start in this lecture, I think it had also been explained and paraphrased by me in some lecture, but I think now this time we would like to read this poem line by line, and I would also like to provide you all the important points concerning to this poem. And this is the most interesting as well as I think so a bit complicated, also because here the words and the phrases as used by the poet in this poem, are totally a little confusing, but I would like to make you understand the meanings of each and every statement in each and every line, in each and every line as included in this poem. So first of all, uh, if we take it uh, at the surface level, so I would like to give you a brief synopsis of this poem if you attend my voice very carefully and very attentively. Dear students, the poem written by Stephen Spender, as you can see here the name of the poet is Stephen Spender. This is the poem an elementary school classroom in Salem, written by Stephen Spender, is really heart-touching poem, because the theme of the poem lies in the undue and illegal and undue activities caused by the higher authorities, caused by the people of high societies, rich societies, which put an adverse effect on the life of the poverty-stricken people living in Salem area. So, in this poem, the poet Stephen Spender has also mentioned it very clearly that these the poverty-stricken children, who have been set aside, who have been ignored and neglected by the higher authorities or by the people of the upper societies, have to face a number of difficulties in their lives, day-to-day lives. So as you can see here, first of all we should start. There is no need to read about the poet here. If you want to know about something here about the poem, so I can also read it. Stephen Spender, who was born in 1909 and who was died in 1995, was an English poet. Stephen Spender, English poet, and an essayist. He left University College, Oxford, without taking a degree and went to Berlin in 1930. He left University College, Oxford, where he used to get education, and he left the University College in Oxford University without taking a degree and went to Berlin in 1930, in the year of 1930. Spender took a keen interest in politics and declared declared himself to be a socialist and pacifist. Pacifist means peace lover. Socialist means who always dedicates or who always sacrifices himself for the welfare of the society, and who performs a number of tasks for the upliftment of the society, and who also gets himself ready every time to help the needy and the poor. So books by Spender include poems of dedication, The Age of Being, The Creative Element, The Creative Element, The Struggle of the Modern, and an autobiography, World Within World, and the last is here, in an elementary school classroom in Salem. In an elementary school classroom in Salem, he has concentrated on themes of social injustice and class inequalities. So the theme of the poem is already mentioned here. I had also mentioned almost the same theme, because I told that the theme of the poem lies in the undue illegal activities. So these are also the illegal activities. Social injustice is also the part of illegal activities. Okay, class inequalities is also the part of the illegal and unauthorized activities, as commonly performed by the rich person, high society people of the high society, upper society. Okay, so here now we have read about the poem. We have read something about the poet. So having got some details about the poet, now it is our turn to read the poem. Okay, I would like to speak some words in Hindi also, so that you can easily understand the meanings of these all lines. So let's start reading the poem. Number second, poem number 2, an elementary school classroom in a slum. Okay, एक गंदी बस्ती में बना हुआ, स्थापित किया हुआ कोई एक प्राथमिक विद्यालय, जिसको कवि ने अपनी कल्पना में रखा है, और उस कल्पना में रखे हुए उस विद्यालय के बारे में जो कुछ कवि को दिखाई दिया है, कवि ने अपने पंक्तियों के माध्यम से अपनी वाणी में इस प्रकार से सब कुछ उन्होंने कहा है, ताकि इस प्रकार का भेदभाव उन बच्चों से न किया जा सके, so that such kind of discrimination can't be seen, okay, in future at any place in the country and in the whole world also, in his country and across the world also. For from gusty waves, from gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor, the tall girl with her weighed down head, the paper seeming boy with red eyes, the stunted unlucky heir of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnawed disease, his lesson from his desk at back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream of sparrow's game in tree room other than this. So let's start getting the explanation first. Okay, for from gusty waves. बेटे, for from gusty waves, these the words as included by the poet here in this first line represent here the area or the location of the slum area, okay, which is completely devoid of proper oxygen, which is completely devoid of the presence of air, okay, and in that colony, in that locality, one can hardly feel the fresh oxygen, one can hardly breathe fresh, because he says that if the fast blowing stormy winds start blowing, so if the stormy winds also start blowing, so they can hardly show their presence in this area also, because it is located amidst the wilderness and far away from the mainstream of the society, far from gusty waves, okay, gusty waves, these children's faces like rootless weeds. So now one more explanation can be added to here. Through this first line, the poet Stephen Spender wants to make us aware of the most important fact, okay, related to the location of the area where these poverty-stricken children reside, and the second thing, the things which surround the locality from all sides. So here, if you want to explain this the statement in your voice and in your own words, you can easily explain. By speaking these words, the poet wants to tell his readers that the children living in the slum area and studying at some elementary school, okay, are totally unfortunate because their area or their locality is situated at such a place where there is no presence of air, where one can see high humps of high humps of clustered soil, and one can also find there a number of such things which always give foul smell or bad smell every time, okay, and it is totally disconnected from the mainstream of the society. So here the children living in such a discarded or you may say dirty place, and in such a very slum area, okay, look like rootless weeds. Look like rootless weeds stands for the phrase rootless weeds. I would like to give you the meanings of these all phrases also. The phrase rootless weeds stands for here the ignored members of the society. As you can see here, the rootless weeds stands for the unwanted plants which are not liked by anyone and which are thrown away, okay, from the fields. Okay, so like the rootless weeds, just like the rootless weeds, these the poor children have also been ignored by their society member, by their country people. Okay, and the second thing, if you want to take its meaning in another sense, so here if you connect this the phrase rootless weeds to the faces of the children, so we can see here that the children's faces look okay, look so weak and thin that one can hardly expect that they have been brought up and looked after by the members of their families or by some other society members very carefully, providing them the nutritious food and other daily amenities and other day-to-day daily basic amenities. Okay, so because it also represents the haphazard unsuitable growth of the children. So इस पहली पंक्ति के माध्यम से कवि बताना चाहता है कि फार फ्रॉम गस्टी वेव्स, कि जिस क्षेत्र में, जिस गंदी बस्ती में, जिस इलाके में ये छोटे बच्चे, जो गरीबी से प्रभावित जो बच्चे वहाँ रहते हैं, वह इलाका इस प्रकार का इलाका है जहाँ कोई किसी प्रकार की कितनी भी तेज तूफानी हवाएं चल जाए, वहाँ पर कोई किसी प्रकार की जो है हवा का कोई एहसास नहीं होता है। वहाँ किसी प्रकार की कोई हवा का एक शुद्ध वातावरण जो है ना, उसको हवा की प्रेजेंस, हवा की उपस्थिति वहाँ देखने को नहीं मिलती है। वहाँ शुद्ध ऑक्सीजन नहीं है, क्योंकि उस क्षेत्र के चारों तरफ बहुत ज़्यादा गंदगी के ढेर लगे हुए हैं और वह एक ऐसे खंडर में बसा हुआ क्षेत्र है जिसको समाज से बिल्कुल अलग थलग कर दिया गया है। वो कभी ये कहना चाहता है कि इस प्रकार के गंदे प्रदेश में, इस प्रकार के एक दयनीय हालात में दिखाई देने वाले इलाके में रहने वाले जो ये बच्चे हैं, जिन चिल्ड्रन, जो कि इस प्रकार से दिखाई देते हैं जैसे कि मानो खेत में से हम खरपतवार को बाहर फेंक देते हैं और वो बिल्कुल निर्जीव सी दिखाई देने लग जाती है, सूख जाती है, वैसे ये बच्चे भी ठीक उसी प्रकार से कमजोर दिखाई पड़ रहे हैं। उनके अपने चेहरे उतरे हुए हैं, उनके चेहरे ऐसे लगते जैसे कि उनका ठीक प्रकार से पालन पोषण नहीं हुआ है। और यहाँ तक कि ये फ्रेज इस प्रकार का भी मीनिंग देता है कि उन बच्चों के चेहरों को देख करके कहा जा सकता है कि शायद उनको समाज में किसी प्रकार का कोई सम्मान नहीं मिला है। और लोग जो है उच्च श्रेणी के जो लोग हैं, अमीर परिवारों के लोग जो लोग हैं, स्थानीय प्रशासन के जो लोग हैं, उन लोगों ने इन सभी बच्चों को बिल्कुल भी इनकी तरफ ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हैं वो, और इन बच्चों को अपने समाज से उनको अलग समझ लिया है, अलग थलग कर दिया है। कवि को जब इस प्रकार की दयनीय स्थिति में बच्चे दिखाई देते हैं तो कवि से रहा नहीं जा सकता। कवि ने उनकी दयनीय स्थिति को इस प्रकार से वर्णन किया है। सो हियर इन द नेक्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ द सेकंड लाइन, द हेयर टर्न राउंड देयर पैलर, द हेयर टर्न राउंड देयर पैलर स्टैंड्स फॉर हेयर द hair of almost all these poverty-stricken children, okay, is scattered, because we take the hair as a singular noun, so it is scattered all around their yellowish colored faces. Yellowish colored faces. Okay, the faces which look so pale and okay yellowish, because there is no attraction, there is no blood, and one can hardly find any ray of happiness on their faces. वो कहते हैं कि वो कह रहा है कि the hair torn around their pallor, वो कहता है कि उन बच्चों के बिल्कुल पीले पड़े हुए चेहरों के इर्द गिर्द जो है उनके बाल बिखरे पड़े हैं, because there is no person to take care of these old children. There is no one who can take care of these old children, and these children, okay, find themselves growing up naturally, because there is no particular way of bringing them up, and their family members also don't care of their day-to-day needs. Okay, so here the tall girl with her weighed down head. The poet also notices a girl who is older in her age compared to the other children, and who is also very tall in her height. So the poet says that this is the tall girl with her weighed down head. Weighed down head stands for here the burden of unnecessary responsibilities, and looks so much sad and depressed also. Okay, saddened. So the tall girl, the poet says that he also notices a tall girl among these old children. He also finds a girl who is very tall in her height, and it seems that the girl is also overburdened with unnecessary responsibilities, and she looks so much sad and depressed every time. Okay, she is not pleased to her life. उसको देखकर ऐसा लगता है कि यार उसके ऊपर ना, उस लड़की के चेहरे के ऊपर इस प्रकार के कुछ लक्षण नजर आ रहे हैं, जैसे कि मानो अनावश्यक रूप की परेशानियां उसके ऊपर अभी से लाद दी गई हैं, उसको बहुत ज्यादा जिम्मेदारियों से बांध दिया गया है. द पेपर स्विमिंग बॉय स्टैंड्स फॉर अ वेरी थिन एंड वीक चाइल्ड with red eyes means the child whose eyes रिफ्लेक्ट हंगर एवरी टाइम. वो कहता है कि उस एक बच्चा और है उन बच्चों के बीच में जिसकी आंखों में हमेशा भूख झलकती रहती है. द स्टंटेड अनलक्की ऑफ ट्विस्टेड बोन्स. So these the children are the successors of such parents, okay, who have given them their hereditary diseases like asthma, okay, like tuberculosis, etc. And these the children have become the patients of these the incurable diseases. Okay, reciting a father's known disease. So here the poet talks about such a child who has inherited his father's deadly disease, and he's always talking about his father's serious disease, and he can't get rid of this disease also. One noted his lesson from his desk. The child is sitting on his desk, and he's trying to learn, he's trying his best to learn something from his book, but he can't be able to learn it all. At the back of the dim class, the poet also notices at the back side of the dim stands for here a little darky class, where there is no proper visibility, because the poet notices that there is no proper visibility in the classroom, because it is always surrounded by heavy fog and all kinds of other raw material, waste material, which is humped there, which is heaped there by the people of the society. One unnoted, sweet and young. So the poet notices that he can also see a little child who is sitting at the back side of the dim class, at the back side of the darky at the back side of the class, which is filled with much darkness. And one unnoted, sweet and young, and he notices that there he sees and unnoted means totally neglected and uncared. Okay, and suppose the child has been not cared by anyone there, and he has no attendant there, so he totally unattended, unnoted, and the child face is very sweet and young. His eyes live in a dream. The poet finds some dream in his eyes. Okay, वह देखता है कि उस बच्चे को जिसका मधुर सा चेहरा है, जो बड़ा अच्छा छोटा सा बच्चा है, यंग स्टैंड्स फॉर लिटिल चाइल्ड के लिए, और उसकी आंखों में कुछ स्वप्न सजाया हुआ है, ऑफ स्क्वेरल्स गेम इन ट्री रूम, बिकॉज he notices some picture there which is hanging on the wall inside the room, and he looking at the picture of the squirrel. He also dreams of playing such a game, okay, with the squirrel in the open fields. Other than this, but now this the part is connect itself to the next stanza, because वो कहता है कि इन सभी बातों के अलावा, अदर देन दिस का मतलब ये जो कुछ मैंने बताया है कि भाई यहाँ इस गंदे प्रदेश में रहने वाले, इस कूड़ा करकट से भरे इस प्रदेश में रहने वाले बच्चों के साथ में किस प्रकार की ज्यादती होती है, किस प्रकार से बच्चे अपना जीवन देते हैं, कैसे इस माहौल में वो लोग जीते हैं, मगर इसके अलावा कुछ और भी उनके साथ में हो रहा है, वो आगे बताया जाएगा. सो नाउ we have read here the first stanza of this poem, and I have already explained it in my voice. Now it depends on whether you have understood or not. In case you have not understood, so I would like to provide you, okay, the written material also related to this poem, okay, so that you can easily note it down and learn it. Thank you.